is a story. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Here we are, January 2017. Lots of changes, lots of evolutions. So this is the deal. In 2016, I got the vision, the picture, the reality, the sense that the demographics were breaking off, splitting off. However, it's become very clear in the last 6 weeks that I'm picking up on something that's happening in the future. It's not quite happened yet, but what has happened is that the demographics, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all the signs, these demographics that are on these evolutionary narratives, they're unfolding, spiraled evolutionary stories in particular themes. I do believe, I feel, I sense that they've split. And so what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be more work, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but what I've started to do for 2017, January, is for each demographic, I am doing 2 readings. So there's a split happening. There's a certain populace of people, there's a certain evolutionary story that's unfolding for, let's say, half, or at least a quantity, maybe even a third, a quantity of Aries. And then there's another storyline unfolding for another populace, another segment of the Aries demographic. It's the same for Taurus, etc. So let's get started on the year. I'll explain it as we go through the reading this month. Everyone, so there's a lot to talk about as we complete 2016 and we enter into 2017. So of course, this is our January 2017 Alchemy Scope, right? This series of Alchemy Scopes for this new beginning of a new cycle. And indeed it is. So let's start with talking about the numerology. 2016 was a 9-year. It was a hard year for many, many people out there. It was a very tough year. On the collective scale, it was a very tough year. In fact, this 9-year of 2016 was about endings, completion. It was about old patterns coming up to the surface for healing, for seeing. So as we complete this 9-year, we enter into 2017. Which is a 1 year. 2017, 2, 0, 1, and 7 together add up to 10. This 10 year adds up 1 and 0 to 1. All right? 1 is initiation. It's individuation. It's the individual. It's initiative and innovation. It is a new beginning. 1 is a new cycle. It is literally the new seed. So as most of you know who have tuned into my Alchemy Scopes forever, since I've begun, or even more recently, you realize that these Alchemy Scopes are always attuned to natural cycles. So they're always aligned with the new moon portal point. And the new moon is a new seeding time. Indeed, everybody, 2017 for all of us on the collective scale is representing energetically a new seeding time. It's a new moon on a massive scale. So we're entering into a new phase of a 9-year cycle. So this 2017 year is about new beginnings. So this is fantastic. And I have to tell you, everything that I'm going to bring up now is aligning with this message of 2017. Ironically, on this new moon point where we are officially kind of beginning, this is post-winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, and entering into this new cycle for the year, I'm recording this, of course, before this Capricorn new moon, right before January 2017 begins. This new moon point, this Capricorn new moon, is the third of the last 3 months of a 7-degree new moon point. Scorpio had a 7-degree new moon, Sagittarius had a 7-degree new moon, and Capricorn has a 7-degree new moon. In fact, to be exact, the new moon that is occurring on the 28th/29th of December is at 7 degrees 59 minutes Capricorn. Now, everybody, the amazing thing that's aligning with this new moon, this new beginning point, that is representing for us the beginning of the chapter, the pre-chapter of the calendar year shifting to 2017, is that Uranus goes direct on the same day as our new moon. Now, if that weren't enough, we have the most amazing Sabian symbol, everybody. Listen to this. The Sabian symbol that is imbued at 7 degrees Capricorn is this. In a sunlit home, domesticated birds sing joyously. The keynote that Dane Rudhyar writes is the wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. The wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. So let me read on. In various ways, this section of the cyclic process brings to us images glorifying the power and benefits which a steady and well-integrated society brings to its members. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn was the ruler of the Golden Age before he became a symbol of binding limitations. The person who accepts willingly, or even better, takes for granted the value of these limitations, can lead a serene and happy existence, whatever the social status. This stage suggests to us how we can enjoy our life condition by allowing the spiritual values it embodies to fill our consciousness. In every condition provided by a healthy culture, which hardly refers to our present chaotic world, human beings can find enjoyment in the roles they are born to play. Everybody, with 2017 equating to the energy of a 1 year, a new cycle, a new birth, individuation. This is about you becoming you. This is about you as a distinct soul print, a distinct individual, stepping into your uniqueness, your distinctness, and doing you. This could not be more aligned with the bigger picture. I mean, it's quite something. So this particular symbology is imbued not only for this particular new moon, but at the point at which Uranus is going direct. And Uranus is the individual. It is our distinct genius self. It's our uniqueness, our distinctness. So there's no accident. There's complete alignment with the fact that Uranus is going direct and that it's happening on this new moon. And this new moon is the third of 3 sevens. And this particular symbol is the picture. This is birds singing joyously in a sunlit home. This is about emanation. Sun emanates. This home is safety, security. It's the self. It's the body. Everybody, this is quite something, you know. Now, let's talk about this new cycle. So you heard me say in the introduction to this video that I had been getting a call for a long time now, actually. This is since last spring. So spring of 2016, I got a really clear picture that that these demographics of the signs are going to start to split. That there's going to be a threading of the story. It's going to fray out, because as people step into their individuation, as people understand that they are distinct, as they understand they are a powerful, distinct facet of consciousness, of source, they are going to break. They're going to go into more of their aligned soul print path. And the general demographics for the unfolding is going to shift and change. The thing is, I tend to pick up on things well before they manifest. So when I picked this up in spring 2016, it wasn't necessarily happening yet. What I got clear on in the last 6 to 8 weeks is that there is a split, but it's not threaded out into many different facets of story. So for example, instead of the demographic of Aries continuing on a general evolutionary path of unfolding narrative, it is split, but it's now split in two. So there's a distinct evolution upward, and there's another evolution going in another direction. As we move from a stable state into a chaotic state, as people continue to unveil and awaken and really align with their distinct soul print, they will not follow a general narrative. So yes, there is a split now. Is that split going to further break into different threads of story? Yes. At some level in the next couple of years, I don't necessarily foresee these particular readings following any particular thick storied narrative. They might, because again, I see things well in advance, years in advance of sometimes this stuff happening. So it could be that it's 5 years down the road, but maybe it's sooner. It's going to depend on how quickly people wake up and how people really... I think what's happened for me in the last 6 to 8 weeks is I've realized the level at which people are still strongly asleep. And so because that's the case, the understanding that I've gotten, the clarity that I asked for and that I received was that indeed there is a split, but right now it's only a bifurcation. It's only a split into two. So that's what we're going to proceed with. So let's move forward into the individual signs, and we're going to take a look and see one or two, A or B, left or right, because I am going to show you two different spreads and two different I Ching narratives. Okay? And one of those is going to align more for your story. All right, so let's get started. So I'd like you to meditate on two forms, square and circle. Square and circle. Now, if you'd like to align the form square with the number 1 or with the directional identifier right, you can do that. And I want you to also meditate on the form circle or number 2. It can also be B of A and B, or left of right and left. But I think the easiest way, because you're my very first recording, you know, I'm doing this split spread situation now for the first time, and I really do, it is my very authentic intention to make this easy and smooth as opposed to more complicated. It is absolutely against my deep desires to make any of this complicated, but unfortunately there's more information coming through. So I'm going to bring it, at least for now, I'm going to bring it forward, and I will attempt to be as clear and concise as possible. I think that square and circle, tapping into the forms, are going to be the easiest for people. because it's not about one being better than two. In fact, it's not that at all. A being the first letter in the alphabet, B being the second. There's always some hierarchical association that humans do with that stuff. And because I didn't want that, I think that square and circle are going to be best. So tap in. And once you know what it is, that is your form. So for all of these alchemy scopes coming forward, you are going to be square. You're not going to go back and forth between square and circle. Now, could it be that you kind of switch paths, or that you shift trajectory? Anything's possible. Absolutely anything is possible. But you're not going to flip-flop back and forth every month. If you pick square or if you pick circle, I am doing the readings according to those pathways. Okay? So let's begin. We're starting with square. So if you selected square as the resonant form for you, that means that that is your unfolding trajectory at this time. Cap, let's take a look at your square narrative. Square Capricorns, what's happening for you? Let's start with the I Ching. What is the microcycle, the thick theme that's unfolding for the squares this month? 2 I Ching hexagrams came forward for you. Number 56, pushing upward, came with changing lines, and it became number 54, careful affection. Now, one doesn't necessarily become the other in the way that I use the I Ching. So both of these combined together create a narrative that's underpinning your January 2017. Pushing upward has to do with plants in spring pushing upward, growth pushing upward through the soil. And typically it's referring to new growth manifesting, emerging. There's forward movement, upward movement. Careful affection has to do with just what it says. It's a discernment that's at play. There's a protective element that's at play. There's a mindfulness at play with what you say and how you express yourself with others. This particular I Ching typically refers to the scenario of, a married man with the affections of a maiden coming into his sphere. So there's this whole dynamic around being careful with what you say and how you present yourself. So there's a carefulness around square caps with regards to what wants to emerge or what is emerging. Your evolution this month, who you are to become and embody for the square caps, is the Dakini from Penny Slinger 64 Dakini Oracle, number 49, Agori. Now, Agori is talking about the God in everything, including that which is dark, shadowed, and ugly, aesthetically or otherwise. So the grime and the dirt and the slime in life is all God. It's all God. So Agori is saying for you, see and honor the other ugly aspects of you and the ugly aspects of life, because life has ugly. So this is about honoring all of it. Now, squares, if we move on to your reading, let's take a look. The center section is containing preserving. By the way, I'm using the volatile deck for this reading for you. And then I'm using the Druidcraft Tarot to bring up an additional aspect of the central message. So you can see in the center there, this cascade containing preserving, yes, positive, 6 of Cups. The central theme for the square Capricorns in January is about holding on to memories of the past, good memories of the past, that which made you feel good, that which is habitual and patterned perhaps. So things about your life that are good memories that make you feel delightful, delicious, you're containing those. However, if you look over in the emotional sector, which is the far left side, you see difficult. Let me just look here. insisting. So there's difficult, insisting, and faith. So there is some emotional difficulty with maintaining the faith with regards to something new that wants to emerge. So you can look over and see generating birth on the right side. In the spiritual sector, something does want to emerge through you. Something wants to come. Something is ready to be birthed. Now keep in mind, the I Ching was pushing upward, careful affection. This is exactly talking about that. There is some new birth that wants to emerge, but there's difficulty for you actually having the faith that whatever it is going to happen. Now, it has to do with money. Richness is at the bottom of the reading. So money is a topic at hand for the square Capricorn path. And if you look up at the top, asking, perseverance, growth, returning. Mentally, your thoughts are going to be focused on growing and preserving your financial stability. So there's some carefulness about doing new things, generating a new birth, because the focus is money, okay? And you're analyzing that. There's difficulty having faith in the new step forward. Now, for the circle Capricorn path, for your I Ching narrative, you received number 36, darkening of the light, and it came with changing lines, and it became number 62, attention to detail. What this is referring to, again, this is a combined message. So for the circle Capricorn path over the course of January, this is darkening of the light with regards to attention to detail. Darkening of the light has to do with fear, essentially, because the darkening of the light talks about the sun going down. And when the sun goes down and darkness reigns, we don't really know what's starting to become active in the forest, in the darkness. We can't see it. We don't know. This particular path is connected to attention to detail. So there's a fear for the circle caps with regards to what is needed, the details needed for something that you're working on, a project, a path, a website, a business, a new venture, something more aligned with your soul print. So there's fear around, can I do it perhaps? Can I attend to the details? Do I know what I'm doing? You know, there's that kind of thing. Now, interestingly, if you look at your evolution for the circle caps, 45 Yogini is the Dakini coming up for you. This embodiment, who you are to evolve into this month, is Yogini. And this is about becoming flexible, adaptable, strong, yet flexible. So in yoga poses, there's two quality sets that are imbued in the yoga, the poses of yoga storyline, which is both strength and flexibility. It's also about, yoga in general, is about bringing together, yoking. It's about joining, conjoining together. So for you, the embodiment is be flexible and focus on joining. What is the unity field? What is the thing that feels optimal? What is the thing that attracts and brings together? What joins? Okay? Now, if we go to your reading, we have the center section there. You can see improve, sadness, later, preparation, and then we have the High Priestess as the tarot. Now, this is my spread. So this deck here that we're looking at is my Siri deck. I should say that both of these spreads were done one after the other. So the squares were done first, the circles are done second. That's always how I'm doing it. That's how I've done it throughout all of the readings for January, which, by the way, all of them were done on the new moon, on the Capricorn new moon. So these are very infused with energies, the specific energies for the month ahead. So cap circles, improve sadness, later prepare, High Priestess. What this is saying is that for your path this month, you are going to be improving any levels of sadness or grief that you're holding that might be triggered by fear or that might be triggered by past loss. So any depression, sadness, negative, feeling down, feeling depressed, there's going to be improving of that over the course of January. And you're going to be preparing for the future. So you're improving any pessimistic view about the future and thus the preparing for the future. Now there's going to be an improving of that, and you are going to feel like you're more able to prepare for the future. The High Priestess is about becoming the magician, becoming the one that is highly intuitive and connected to source. The High Priestess sees and knows the truth beyond all illusion. She is connected to the source field and she can access that. So she's highly intuitive and she's very tuned in and she's a master of it. So this is beautiful because this path is about this High Priestess becoming or at the center of your theme. Now it's interesting because if you look at the right side, you can see two cards there. Allowing and surrender. And by the way, that card is an angel holding a collapsed female figure there, okay? Allowing and surrender, and difficult, challenging, okay? So this is about allowing any difficulties. It's about going through the process, the chapter of actually just allowing what is so. It's not about taking no action on obstacles. It's not about taking no option or no action on difficulties, but it is about becoming discerning about what the reality is of the situation. And sometimes we do have to allow the process to unfold. So here there's spiritually, you're more able to allow the difficulties without judging it, resisting it, pushing against it, which is futile. At the bottom of the spread, foundationally in your 3D reality, there's something about a woman's home, celebration, synchronicity, woman, and home. So there's something for you that has some stability and joy with regards to maybe a home foundation or a woman, a mother figure, perhaps for some of you. Connected to either your home or a home that's going to temporarily house you. So it could be that for some of you, you are either moving or you're in some transition home-wise, but you're happy. In the month of January, there's happiness, celebration, because there is synchronicity with a woman's home. And it could be that in your home, if you're quite well established, you have a home. It could be that there is synchronicity with a woman wanting to live with you, wanting to come be with you, wanting to, there's some partnership or some collaboration that's going to be a win-win. Okay, so either you're able to home somebody that needs it and it's a win-win for other reasons, for multiple other reasons, or you're the one that's going to be getting the help. But there's some storyline there that's fascinating for me. Emotionally, the feeling emotion card came up. So it could be that you're feeling a lot this month. You know, there are difficulties. You're going to feel some sadness. You're going to feel various things. I think the feeling emotion card in the sector is really saying you're going to be feeling deeply and you're going to be feeling different things. Okay. Up at the top of the reading is community. So guess what? Your thoughts over the course of January are going to be on tribe, networks, friends, community. Now, for some of you, this is going to be intentional community. So we are moving, humanity is definitely has been, but will continue to move into more collective orientation. So a lot of people that are living on their own, it's going to be shifting over the years to come in a more radicalized way. We've already been seeing it happening, but it could be that you do actually start thinking about living with others. Okay, because again, home is at the bottom of the reading and that's connected to the top. So you're thinking about community. There is some synchronicity coming about with a woman, and it might be that that woman connects you to community, right? Okay, Cap. So let's move on to this final little message for you, and then we'll complete. Everyone, an exciting announcement. Throughout 2016, I've been called to bring forward a Learn Your Soul Print course, and indeed it's happening. January 2017, we'll have 3 live stream courses discussing key aspects of your astrology, your archetype encodings, and the Sabian symbology that lives within your soul print, your soul's blueprint. that really are foundational understandings to knowing what our natural alignment is. It is highly delicious. And so for those intrigued, this is a great price, and I encourage you to learn more about it. The web address is thealchemyofholism.com/soulprintcourse with hyphens between the words. And you can find the link below this video. So for those ready to start 2017 with clarity, with alignment, I highly, highly recommend learning about this course. An excellent price point. The goal for me to provide a course versus working one-on-one with clients, which is what I do, is so that I can help more people align to their stories. And this story is the natural alignment, the natural bliss state. So I look forward to seeing some of you very, very soon. Everyone, before I sign off and wish you a very good month ahead, an evolutionary, a rich and expansive month ahead, I want to remind you that in order to get your personalized Alchemy Scope with a spread, with an astrological assessment of your solar return, with a discussion of your Sabian symbology, of everything that's activated, including your transits, I urge you to make contact. The link is below. And this is a video that you're going to have permanent access to, so you can refer to it throughout the year. But there is about a 2-week lead time, so I encourage you, if you'd like to tap into what the whole of 2017 has in store for you, please go ahead and click the link below to place your order right away. Talk to you soon. Bye. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency.